So guys, welcome to VRDNation. In this channel, we try to educate our fellow investors and traders on practically every aspect that pertains to the stock market, right? And we do that using practical real life examples, real life case studies, real life trades, and we use tons of animation so that even the most complicated topics can be easily explained to an absolute beginner. So if you are new to this channel or if you are hearing me for the first time, do not forget to subscribe. Now, in the world of stock market, I believe that there are many enemies of an active trader, and one of them is slippage. And in this video, we are going to learn what is slippage, why slippages happen, and most importantly, how to avoid them. So if you are an active trader or if you plan to become one, pay attention to this video because you're going to learn something very important. All right. So let's get started. So what is slippage? Slippage is the difference between the price we expect and the price that we actually get. So let's take an example to understand it. So let's say you bought a stock at 100 rupees and it quickly moves up to 120 rupees. Now you're of course very happy because you made a quick 20% profit and you don't want to lose that money which is right in front of you. So what you do is that you place a market order to sell your stocks and exit out of this trade. Market order, as you know, is an order where we don't specify the price, right? So we let the stock exchange decide the best price at the time of placement of the order. So in this case, the stock exchange executes the order at 115 rupees, not 120, but 115. Now you are clearly disappointed because at the time of placing the order, you saw the price of 120, whereas the order got executed at 115. So this difference between the expected and the actual price, in this case 5 rupees, is called slippage. So the next obvious question arrives at why do slippages happen? Now there are a few reasons why, but the main one is that if the stock or index that you are trading is illiquid, it means it doesn't have enough buyers and sellers. So think about the small cap stocks or mid cap stocks where there is not a lot of trading happening on a day-to-day basis, right? So these are those stocks where you can expect slippages to happen because when you are placing an order, there are not enough buyers and sellers who are providing enough bids and ask to absorb the quantity that you are placing. But these kind of issues do not normally happen with large cap stocks like Reliance or TCS or HDFC Bank because they tend to have enough liquidity. Now, another reason why slippages happen is when there is a sudden event in the market, such as election results or RBI announcements or any other political news. Right? So during these events, prices tend to jump very quickly within seconds. And by the time our orders hit the stock exchange and get executed, we get a very different price. So, okay, so now that we know that slippages happen, what can we do to avoid them? So this is something you might want to pay attention to, right? So the number one thing that you need to do is to avoid trading in illiquid stocks and indices, right? That's the most obvious thing. The second point to note is that when you are entering a trade, do not use market orders, use limit orders, right? So limit orders are those orders where you specify the price at which you want to buy or sell any particular stock. So when you place a limit order, you know exactly what you will get. Point number 3 is that if there is an event expected in the market, exit all your trades before that in order to avoid any huge moves against you. Alright, so these are the ways in which you can avoid slippages, but there is one scenario where slippages cannot be avoided entirely, and that scenario happens normally in volatile indices like Bank Nifty. So how do you avoid slippages in those scenarios? Well, we will discuss that in a separate video, but at least from this video, I hope that you understood what slippages are, what are the reasons why they happen, and how to avoid them. But before I wrap up, let me ask you guys one question, and you guys can answer the question in the comments below. That is it possible for the slippages to be positive? Right? So we have seen scenarios where slippages are negative for us. We lose money when slippages happen, but is it possible that because of slippage, you actually ended up making higher profits than you thought? Right? It's an interesting question. So let me know your answers in the comments below.